downtownmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other. Jim's an onion. You got to peel back the layers to get to the good part.
So you can tell Rutledge that. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Amen.
Because I'm here for whatever.
It's kind of a roller coaster. Sports is a roller coaster.
Matt, let me ask you a question. Matt, let me ask you a question.
If you get food poisoning from a place, do you go back?
Like, for more food?
No, if you go back ever. Like you get a bad burger from a place.
And give him a second chance? No.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside America's favorite Alex Gravatt. Here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are live in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Gee, if the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
We were out at North and South Seafood Smokehouse in Verona yesterday, crushing Coors Light and enjoying the meat candy, a.k.a. The burnt ends, along with Catfish out there. And John Adias did a great job with Coach Sheffield, Sarah Franklin, and others from the Badger volleyball team at a great event at North and South. So thanks for having us out there. Alex G., Jim Rutledge with you. We got Riley Yauk behind the glass, and we got Chrissy Birdsall in the Everlight Solar Studio with us as well. So a full house today. We got you for the next 2 hours, and I want to start today. So it's like a new year, new you sort of thing. So Riley and Alex, you guys are going to be my stand-in for Packer fans, but also the Packer Nation. So I wanted to share something I'm grateful for, and I'm grateful for the Green Bay Packers never doing to the Chicago Bears what the Kansas City Chiefs have done to the Raiders, whether it's Los Angeles, Vegas, or Oakland Raiders, their biggest rival, and what the Patriots did to the Jets, which was make them feel the pain of watching their biggest rival dominate the NFL and win Super Bowl after Super Bowl after Super Bowl with Hall of Fame QBs. And you know what? Every day I wake up now and I say, thank God the Green Bay Packers were never able to build a dynasty like that. In fact, the Green Bay Packers in my life never had a dynasty. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for that, because you could have been the 70s Steelers with Terry Bradshaw. You could have been the 80s 49ers with Joe Montana. You could have been the 90s Cowboys with Troy Aikman, or obviously the Patriots with Brady, or the Chiefs with Mahomes. Heck, you could have been the 80s Giants winning 2 Super Bowls in 4 years, the Eli Manning Giants, 2 Super Bowls in 4 years. You could have even been Peyton Manning winning some Super Bowls out there. Heck, the Bills would have been kind of hard to see you go to 4 Super Bowls. The Broncos under Elway obviously won some later, but they went to a ton. You didn't do any of that, so thank you. I appreciate that. All I had to do was just wait like 2 to 3 more weeks, and you guys would join me watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And we'd just all be fans of teams we're not really interested in watching a game.
11-0 run. That's pretty good. We got that.
11-0 run what?
Against the Bears.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest. 100%. My big fear the whole time when Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers was around was going to be some sort of Super Bowl dynasty. The Super Bowls is what hurt.
Yeah.
The Super Bowls are what cut deep. Those are the punch in the stomach. Because not only do you beat – because, again, when you're rooting for a team, and honestly, coincidentally, the Jets, Raiders, and Bears are all pretty pathetic just on the whole, that when you're rooting for a team like that, there's not a lot of times you stuck it to us and gave us the gut punch. So the only gut punch is going to come because we already just had an inept team. The only gut punch came if you were at the top of the league. You gut punched us once with Cutler and Aaron Rodgers in the NFC Championship game.
That was a good one.
That's really the only gut punch.
We've kept you out of the playoffs sometimes in the games
but they
themselves.
weren't like
so
Super
you don't
Bowl
care about the
caliber
games
teams.
themselves, really?
Nothing compared to the Super Bowl. I'm being
so
honest.
you get Khalil Mack coming in there. You think you're going to light the world on fire, and then take out Aaron Rodgers. He comes back at halftime down 20-3.
Yeah, but we're already beaten at that point, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this
just
isn't
the fact
new.
that he came back.
No, we already knew. It's so far gone. Like right now, like going into this year hurt a little bit, but the Bears split against the Packers and could have gone 2-0.
Yeah, that's
but the Bears
stretch.
I'll say like this: it's not a stretch. They could have gone 2-0. They
The
had a
split is a stretch.
Kick.
It was over. Like they just stopped. They phoned it in. The Packers
between the two games, the Bears earned their 1-1. However you want to look at it, between the two games, the Bears earned their 1-1.
I'll give you that.
But the Bears had a disappointing season. I've still plenty of optimism for Caleb, and I think the teams will actually compete maybe for a playoff spot next year. These two teams might be able to fight it out. I think the Packers will get it. I think the Bears will. Just right now, on paper, I bet the Bears 8-9 wins. I think the Packers will be 11-12. So maybe the Bears outshoot the skis. That's really early, but just in general, I mean, if you ask me today, I'm going Lions, and then the Packers and Vikings battling out for second place, and maybe the Bears can be the surprise team like the Commanders. New coach, new energy, and get Caleb Williams back on track. That's kind of where I look at the NFC North at the moment. Because the Lions, to me, are going to still hold up there.
Even though they don't have their coordinators. I think there's a little shake-up there with no coordinators.
Yes, but then you have to give credit. Mike Vrabel, defensive guy, a mindset guy. You know what he had? He had LaFleur and Arthur Smith. Dan Campbell, we have to give him the benefit of the doubt. That John Harbaugh has had this too. These tone-setter guys. These tone-setter guys know how to hire assistants. And the guys that Dan Campbell is bringing in, he's promoting a defensive coordinator up, and he's bringing in a guy who was on the staff 2 years ago who's now with Denver. So we have to assume that, and he's keeping most of the rest of them. He's keeping his QB coach in Brunell. He's keeping his passing game coordinator. He's keeping his offensive line coach. So could there be a step back? Sure, but they're getting Agent Hutchinson back. They were the most injured defensive team on football last year. So I think all things being considered, I'm putting the Lions number one. Packers and Vikings are battling out for second place in the division, and maybe the Bears can surprise. But regardless, so next year will hurt. If the Bears fall on their face, and let's say the Packers beat them twice, or the Bears win 6 games, like that'll hurt. But everything would have hurt so much more if the Packers had been the Chiefs or the Patriots, the most relevant comp, because they did it in the era when the Packers had Favre and Rodgers. But here's the thing. Those are AFC teams. It's not like the Packers were, getting Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? It's not like they were ending up in the Super Bowl.
They just went to the NFC Championship and handed it to whoever they played.
Yes.
Again and again and again, and it stunk. How many, I don't know the number on this. Maybe this is something you could work on, Riley. How many times did the Packers run into the team that ran to the Super Bowl in the playoffs?
I will look that up, but it feels like every single time.
No, it can't be, but it might be.
I put an asterisk on this, and then Matt Hamilton likes to play this game. Maybe Jesse Nelson does too. If you want to try to sell yourself that you lost in the NFC Championship game and then that team won and won the Super Bowl, I'll buy that. Like 49ers, losing to the 49ers had to go win another game before they got to the Super Bowl. You're stretching too far here. Same thing. This year, you lost the Eagles twice this year. You lost you didn't beat really anyone good this
time.
Year. Yeah,
this time around for sure. I feel that way.
There's too many degrees of separation. If you lose in the NFC Championship game and that team goes win the Super Bowl, you can be like, you know what, we were close.
If you lose a close one in the divisional round and that team blows out the next team, then it doesn't matter. You're right there. You're
not there. Like that's loser. Like here's the thing. Gee, you guys are too good for that talk. Like you had the golden ticket twice in modern football. You had opportunities to be in many NFC Championship games. You're talking like a Bears, Jets, or Raiders fan. No, if you're the Packers, you're supposed to be with those quarterbacks in the conversation with the Chiefs, Patriots, 90s Cowboys, 80s 49ers, 70s Steelers, and even the Giants in their little 2 Super Bowl and 4-year runs. That's the conversation you're supposed to be in. Heck, even the Ravens with sustained success have done more in that window than the Packers have as far as going to winning Super Bowls, or as much.
I was going to say
as much. They won 2 Super Bowls in the same window.
Yeah, I guess the 2000 and 2014 or something like that. 2012.
They won. Yeah, with against Engler. Yes. So
Super Bowl participant Derek Engler. Catch him on the Great Dane Huddle.
That's my point. Is that it's shocking. I'm having some fun, but it's shocking, Alex, that the Packers. What was it? 1994. What was Brett Favre's first year?
94 was when he came to Green Bay. I think he was in the league in 93. Is that right?
I'll bring it right now. I'll bring up his career stats here. So 1992 was his first year with the Packers. 15 starts, or 13 starts, 15 games that year. So since 1992 and through 2 years ago, you had Hall of Fame quarterback play.
2 Super Bowl wins and 1 Super Bowl appearance.
Well, 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 Super Bowl.
Or I said that, yeah. My bad.
Yes. 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 Super Bowl wins.
Yeah, and there was so many, like the ones that hurt the most are those NFC Championship games that like, the one against the Falcons, whatever. I don't think the Packers really deserved or earned the spot in the Super Bowl. They got boat raced from the second it happened. The same one with the next iteration.
Kicked by 49ers.
49ers. That, again, doesn't matter. It's the one against the Seahawks, right, where you just go out there and you crumble and fall in a game that you might have won. And then what was the other one that felt really good?
The year after you won the Super Bowl, you won 15-1 or whatever, and then lost to the Giants.
Lost to the Giants, who were not good.
Who won the Super Bowl
at Lambeau? You lost to the and I know it's Michael Vick, but you lost to the Falcons at Lambeau Field when it was cold and snowy.
Yeah,
you lost to one-armed Jimmy Garoppolo.
Was he one-armed?
Well,
He was not great.
Yeah, he was.
He's not good at football.
He had like a messed up elbow or shoulder in that game.
They literally just ran the ball, and we could not stop them to save our lives.
No, yeah, the
rough
Packers defenses for a long time there were just really bad. I was looking at it today, and you for a long time you had to be the best offense and the best defense, or at least in the conversation. And then around 2004, that stopped. You just had to have one of them be good, and so like this narrative that the Packers don't have the defense or whatever for so long, while I do still believe that the defense gave away way too many opportunities where Aaron Rodgers is in overtime or whatever it is, doesn't get an opportunity to score even, I still think that's true. But like, man, it is more attainable than I thought, right? You're looking at it, there's 5 times that since 2010, I think it is, 5 times that a team has had the number one defense or offense and won the Super Bowl. Outside of that, it's whatever. As long as you have one of them that's good, it's attainable. And the Packers just never put together that thing. And it's like a bit of the killer mentality that they're missing or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and that's our poll question today. You can chime in on the Carbless Talking text line, 844-770-3776. Less is more. Our Siding Unlimited poll question is, what's the biggest reason the Packers didn't win more Super Bowls with Favre and Rodgers? Right now, off to a quick start there. 41% of people say front office. 35% say bad luck. I'm not buying that one. I hope that's not the answer in the end for Packer fans, because bad luck, as we just talked about, they didn't even have the run of like Russ got to back-to-back Super Bowls, won one, lost one. I mean, they had that with Favre, but they didn't even have that with Rodgers. So, I mean, there's teams in this window that had little pockets of success of going to the Super Bowl. And that's the whole point of this. And let's just be honest. The whole point of it is winning the Super Bowl, especially when you have the golden ticket. So anyone trying to chime in and be like, oh, Bears fan, you're right. I'm not in the conversation. Bears fans aren't in the class. We're talking about, I want to talk about your peers. And as the Green Bay Packers, organizationally, as a winning organization, your peers are the 70s Steelers, the 80s 49ers, 90s Cowboys, the Patriots and the Chiefs. Specifically the Patriots and the Chiefs, who won all those Super Bowls in your window. And again, you didn't get Michael Jordan. You didn't go and then lose to Brady in the Super Bowl, and then lose to Mahomes in the Super Bowl. You didn't get there outside of 3 times.
So I think
in 30 years?
Yeah. It stinks.
I'm not, look, again, it's better to have loved and lost than never loved at all.
I agree.
But it's still worth I just want to ask the question. We're not trying to get anyone retroactively fired. It's shocking when you look at it. 1992, Brett Favre arrived. So what? It is 2025. So 23 was Favre's last season?
2023? 2009 was his last season in the NFL. 2000.
No. Rodgers.
Rodgers. Oh, 22.
22. So 1992 through 2022.
30 years.
3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 wins.
It's tough. I don't know.
It's almost impossible to do when you have 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks, arguably 2 quarterbacks in the top 10. Mahomes and others might slide far down over time. Rodgers is going to be in that top 10 for a while. You
think so? Because the NFL top 100 list of all time for the 100-year anniversary had Favre in there, not Rodgers.
Yeah, I feel like that'll change.
Okay. I'm for it in some ways. Also, the way that Rodgers redid the checkbook. I mean, he rewrote how you pay quarterbacks again and again and again. And I think that hurts him. And I think the end of his career hurts him, because Brett Favre looked good, at least for good chunks of his time in Minnesota. Aaron Rodgers does not look good in Jets uniform right now. So, yeah, I don't know. As you look at it, I think that there's something about the quarterback that, despite having these guys who are stalwarts, just absolute monsters of the regular season, they don't have the killer instinct that Patrick Mahomes does. It doesn't matter how Patrick Mahomes is playing. He's always in it, making the best defenses look bad. Aaron Rodgers, he left some on the table again and again and again. Brett Favre did too, and we were talking about it when Mike Holmgren showed up. All of a sudden, he ran the show. Brett Favre did. He had everything he wanted. It was all up to him, and suddenly they weren't as good.
Would the Packers have won more Super Bowls? Maybe we post this one at Jim Matt Molly's a secondary signing limited poll question. If Mike Holmgren never left.
Yes,
if Mike Holmgren never left, would the Packers have won more Super Bowls? So he resigned from the Packers after the 1998 season. He accepted an 8-year, $32 million head coaching contract from the Seattle Seahawks. And originally, he was the executive vice president, general manager, and head coach of the Seahawks. And then in 2022, he was terminated as GM, but stayed on as a coach. Went to a Super Bowl with the Seahawks.
You go for...
I believe he was 72-56 with the Seahawks. So that's another question we'll throw out there, 844-770-3776. JJ and Poinette chimes in. The rationale you guys are discussing is because of matchups. Last year was because the Packers had a good chance to beat the Lions because of the Thanksgiving game result. I think he's talking about this sort of like, the art of like 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon of like,
yeah.
It's just, you're better than that.
Well, yeah. Well, the Packers weren't, right? They played 3 good teams and lost 6 games total, which is nuts.
Yeah, there's no 6 degrees this year. The Packers just weren't good enough. And for me, and you can't talk about matchups of why haven't they won more Super Bowls? It's not bad luck or front off. It's not bad luck. I think it's quarterback play. Because the one constant is quarterback. And look at the Chiefs. Now, they are built a really good defense, and they added, obviously, Spagnuolo is one of the great defensive coordinators, and Andy Reid's a great offensive mind, and what Mahomes is doing is legendary. But this team, nuts. You got Kelsey, who is on the back end of his career. He is not prime Kelsey.
But that is what tight ends do. I don't know what it is. He's probably just a touch past, but tight ends are always better a little later because they're not physically dominant. They're smart.
Well, he's not. I mean, statistically, he's falling off each year. His yards per catch are falling off. His overall yards are falling. He's catching more passes because he's smart. But these guys, like, he's not ineffective. He's still a top tight end in the league. He's just not what he was at the start of the Super Bowl run even. Like, at the start of the Super Bowl run, he's still arguably the greatest tight end of all time, but he's not playing like that guy anymore. And he had to... I think he even said this, put the Ferrari in the garage for games this year. Like, you just weren't going to get Kelsey every game. Like, he was going to have to, not half-ass it, but, like, kind of just play it a little bit less.
Jason Witten it.
Yeah, and so then you have Xavier Worthy, a rookie. Hollywood Brown missed most of the year. Pacheco was missed a lot of time. You pull Kareem Hunt off the street. You trade for Deion. So you made a move, Hopkins, but Hopkins is on the closer end. Not washed, but he's out.
He's not looking great.
He's close it out to Pat. But so the GM helps with that. But that's what Mahomes is winning with. It's vets and inconsistent young players. Juju Smith-Schuster showed up huge. I forgot he was on the team. I thought they cut him. They did. I think they brought him back. It's kind of like I think you said this yesterday, or maybe John Adias did yesterday. You said it 2 days ago. They're kind of like the Patriots, where these guys just fall off and then they just come back because they're not any good anywhere else. Mm-hmm. So the Chiefs let them go, and then the other teams are like, oh, well, we'll sign this guy. He's a winner. And they're like, oh, this guy sucks. And then they make their way back to the Chiefs. Kareem Hunt and Juju Smith-Schuster be an example.
And for some reason, there's just this level of like, I see it in Frisbee all the time, right? I play on the Radicals, the UFA. It's fun.
Same thing, yeah.
But these guys are older. They're not fast. They're not jumping with us. They're like the youth movement doesn't always work because the older you get, the more you understand the game, and that seems to be true outside of just the UFA where I play, right?
Yes.
I'm a 27-year-old idiot who likes to throw and chase plastic. Yes, but these pros, we're at the top of our game. They're at the top of their games. It's very different. I understand that. But you have to have a better understanding of what's going on the older you get. And that's why these quarterbacks stay good. That's why I think tight end stays good. And you continue to grow your entire career. And that's why these veterans that they're signing suddenly show up and are really good.
So wouldn't this argument, though, favor coaching, that coaching is the most important aspect? Or do you think these guys who show up like a Juju Smith-Schuster are good because they believe in Mahomes and Mahomes is throwing them open?
I would say more Mahomes is finding them open. And I guess I just go to the players because after a certain point, especially the quarterback, like it's on the quarterback. Like initially coaching is important. You got to develop Favre. And again, I put it on Favre because it is hand in hand. Holmgren helped keep Favre on the rails. Favre was his best with Holmgren. And there was a nice run with McCarthy, but his absolute peak Favre was with Holmgren.
3 Super Bowls or 3 MVPs.
But Favre was the type of guy that I think his tendency was to become more Jay Cutler than Favre. And Holmgren kept him in line with the play call and all of that. And then you had Rodgers with McCarthy. They had a nice thing going. Like, Rodgers' best years were with McCarthy, I think, still. He won the Super Bowl with him. I would say his best years, the way he played the best, his best time as a teammate was with McCarthy.
That is the one. That's true. I think that it is your leaders, the guys who hold everything together, the quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, they were both head cases. They were both me guys. They wanted everything. They have, no one has ever told them no in their life, and they had that mentality about everything. And I think that's where it went wrong, right? Pat Mahomes, well, a bit of a prima donna and diva, is a good teammate, all things considered. He's lifting his guys up. Tom Brady, a winner, good teammate, putting other people in position to succeed. They both wanted it.
Yeah, what's the excuse this time around for Mahomes not taking the money? Because remember, everyone's like, "Oh, Brady's wife's loaded, so he's not taking the money." The two guys we talked about there, Mahomes and Brady, they didn't go for the big money.
Oh, a 10-year, like, it was the blockbuster deal at the time.
For what?
For Mahomes.
Right, but he could go back and get more.
Yes, and this year he's making 14% of his team's salary cap.
Yeah, but he could go back and get more. Brady could go back and get more.
Well, not anymore.
He went and got Chris Jones paid. Remember, after the Super Bowl last year, he said to Chris Jones, "We will make it happen." Like, he's advocating for keeping their guys around. Like, they're on the stand. One of the Hunt family is there, and he says, "We're bringing Jones back." On the podium, Mahomes says that. He's taking care of his guy on the podium, to your point. Team guy.
Yeah.
So not even QB play, QB attitude.
Yes.
There you go.
It is being a team player.
A leader.
I don't think that Aaron Rodgers or Brett Favre were the best leaders.
G, you mentioned earlier, as you get older, you got to take care of your body. That could be with hormone optimization, hormone replacement, testosterone replacement treatments. It also could be with semaglutide, GLP-1s. It could just be working out, a regular regimen. It could be cryotherapy. It could be red light therapy. Whatever it is, as your body develops and changes over time, Carbon World Health is there for you. You can be there for, finely tuned athletes like the ultimate Frisbee star that Alex G is, or just a weekend warrior like me. You can get to your fitness goals at Carbon World Health. Don't go find some weight loss place for GLP-1s. Go to Carbon World Health. They're going to give you a workout regimen. They're going to give you a doctor's recommendation for GLP-1s, and they're going to make sure it's right for you. So trust the experts. Go to Carbon World Health and go see Dr. Ness Rodriguez. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely with no drugs or injections, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, or exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can lose weight quickly and keep the weight off for good with an easy-to-follow maintenance plan that includes ongoing personal support. And our program costs half as much and works up to twice as fast than most other programs. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation now.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. I was able to drop 40 pounds thanks to Madison Weight Loss. It's the only program I've ever experienced to actually achieve my weight loss goals. Check out MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule a free consultation and see how the program can help you.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Looking for the most popular answer. What's the worst thing about Wisconsin winters? Gina Della from Pella.
Finding a sitter when snow closes school. Yay! It's the time of the year when we just want to be all warm and snuggly at home. And Pella helps make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. With inviting doors to let friends and family in and beautiful, energy-efficient windows to keep the cold out. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Tracks.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV. Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Purchase your tickets, grab some friends, and get to the Sylvie on Monday, February 24th for Andy North Trivia Night, presented by Exact Sciences. Enjoy a fun and inspiring evening of trivia, music, food, and refreshments while helping to raise money for UW Carbone Cancer Center. This fun and inspiring event is hosted by Andy North, and in addition to the trivia, the lineup includes a silent auction, celebrity appearances, and prizes. Doors open at 6 p.m. Visit AndyNorthandFriends.com to buy your tickets. Past year's events have sold out quickly, so get your tickets today.
Ordering pizza for game day can be a tough call to make. Do you get a pizza or are you craving some wings? At Pizza Hut, there's only one right answer. Get both. Introducing Pizza Hut's original stuffed crust and wings bundle. Get a large one-topping stuffed crust pizza and 16 boneless wings with 2 sauces for only $19.99. An unbeatable value that can feed the whole crew. Perfect for game days, family nights, or any gathering. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
All day, every day, the Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jim, Matt, and Molly continues live from the Everlight Solar Studio. No Matt Hamilton, no Molly Brown. She's back in March, though, folks, so that'll be fun. Alex G., Jim Rutledge with you live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Riley Yao, Chris Birdsall with us in the studio as well. You can join us in the show by answering our Siding Unlimited poll question. What's the biggest reason the Packers didn't win more Super Bowls with Favre and Rodgers? We also have a secondary question at Jim and Matt. The first question is at ESPN Madison. Secondary question is, would the Packers have won more Super Bowls if Mike Holmgren never left? Right now, the results of our Siding Unlimited poll question, 40% of people blame the front office, 17% blame QB play, 8.5% blame coaching, 34% go with bad luck. And I'd buy bad luck if the Packers had more appearances or more wins. Like if they had won one more in this window, it's like, okay, yeah, it's just hard to do it. But 30 years and 2 Super Bowl wins is wild.
It would feel better if it were like, oh, we ran into Tom Brady, because then I'd have more of a reason to hate Tom Brady. Like,
true.
Everyone hates Tom Brady, but like, what Packers fans win in Aaron Rodgers' career? They went like what 2-2 against each other. I mean, it was just like irrelevant.
And again, this is you guys are in better position. This isn't some bitter Bears fan trying to have some fun. I just want to. It's better to have loved than lost and never loved at all. Like I'm not in this conversation. And the Bears aren't good enough to be in this conversation. The Bears are not the Packers' peers. The Steelers, 49ers, Cowboys, Patriots, Chiefs, and even the Giants to an extent with their 2 titles in 4 years in the 80s and with Eli are their peers. And the Packers are at the bottom of that peer group. And the question is, their quarterbacks are not at the bottom of that peer group because I would put Favre and Rodgers above. I would put Rodgers above Montana, Aikman, Bradshaw, Phil Simms, and Eli, and I would do almost the same for Favre, but I'd put Montana in front of Favre.
Well, yeah, wait, you put Rodgers in front of Montana?
I think Rodgers is a better player.
Okay. I mean, like, if you Aaron Rodgers is a more capable quarterback than Tom Brady.
Then we can just say, you know what, then I'm not going to fight too much. I was just trying to be respectful to Rodgers as a player. So outside of Mahomes, Brady, and Montana, the Favre and Rodgers were better than Bradshaw, Aikman, and obviously Eli and Phil Simms.
Bradshaw threw so many interceptions.
It's a different era.
I know,
it's really
wild.
hard. Again, we talked about this yesterday a little bit of me and John Adias about at some point, especially honestly before the difference between football back then and football now. The best way I can describe it is try to watch football from the 90s and it's granule and you can barely notice what's going on. You're like, who are these teams? Who are these players? And you watch now in HD from even 4 years ago and everything's crystal clear.
Oh yeah.
So that's the difference in the football too. If you got this sort of old school, I don't even know what really is happening out there sort of football as opposed to now. Doesn't mean what they accomplished means less. It just means it's different.
I mean, so in the Milwaukee office, they were playing. They've got a giant big screen right next to the Bucks court center logo thing, and they're just playing old Super Bowls. They had the Packers on, and then I think it was the Giants' second Super Bowl against Tom Brady, where even then the production value of everything so much worse than it was. I forget just how blessed we are today that you can count the fingers on someone's hands sometimes, right?
Yeah,
it's cool.
And you're watching that on a big screen TV. Back then, you're probably the biggest TV you were seeing was maybe 32 inches.
I had the TV with the VCR player attached until
Amen.
high school almost. I swear to God. I mean, it was ridiculous.
The 608 chimes in and loved if you gave us your name too so we can attribute it to who shared this take. But Rodgers didn't win more because he thought he was too smart for the coaches. Horrible teammate, alienated his team with the exception of his buddies. He could he could hit out of his own way. I don't know what that part means. He couldn't
get out of his own way?
Yeah, that's not how it was written, but texting will get you there. He's loving him some love. Good for you.
I like Jordan Love too. Rodgers had a killer instinct that, one-on-one against a team in the regular season, he could win a game. He did that again and again and again, but he didn't have that, we're going to rally the troops, we're going to be the team to go do it. That Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes clearly have.
So how long, just with this Favre thing for a second, again, you can chime in on the Carbless Talk text line 844-770-3776. List is more. You can chime in on both our poll questions. One, would the Packers have won more Super Bowls if Mike Holmgren never left? And then also, what's the biggest reason for the Packers only winning 2 Super Bowls despite having 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks for a combined 30 years? Again, right now, 38% of you say front office. So Aaron Rodgers, I don't know the direct comp, but is he the kind of the crazy ex-girlfriend, but Smoke Show 10? And you have Love, and it's not like you're settling, but you're trying to attribute traits to Jordan Love that don't exist. As far as trying to make him Aaron Rodgers and not seeing Love for who he is. So I wonder how long that honeymoon is going to stay. I guess my point is, if Jordan Love has the exact same season, which is a fringe Pro Bowl season, a very good season, if he has that same season next year, Packer fans will be upset. Unless the Packers go to the Super Bowl.
Yes. I think here's the thing, right? We're no longer trying to I believe after this season that we don't have Aaron Rodgers, we don't have Brett Favre. We have another guy who you can win with, right? You have a Russell Wilson, perhaps. You have how can you make him a Ben Roethlisberger, perhaps, right? Those guys weren't the elite of the elite, but they were able to win. You were able to win with them. You were able to go to a Super Bowl. And so I think that there's a very real chance that at the end of this, you'll have a guy with a third Super Bowl. I think there's a real chance you could win with Pat or with Jordan Love.
I think we can win with Jordan Love, but I think both Big Ben and Russell Wilson were more rah-rah, let's go guys, quarterbacks versus Jordan Love. There's a reason Matt LaFleur came out in his end-of-year press conference saying Jordan Love needs to be a more vocal leader. I think that's where he takes the next step. So I don't know if we have seen that ability from Jordan Love yet. I love him. I think he can get there, but we haven't seen it yet.
And again, my whole point on Love is, at this point, he is going to be entering his 6th year in the league, and he's been on the same team with the same coaching staff and the same offense for 6 years. He will get better in the margins. I just don't know if you're going to see that massive jump into the upper tier.
But that's the thing about it. I think he has all of the athletic and physical traits of a guy.
I can give you a long list. A lot of quarterbacks have those traits.
Right. And
they don't get there.
He needs to work on checkdowns. He needs to work on reading.
It's consistency, though. This is the thing. Let's just look. The best quarterback physically, and this might be Caleb Williams, Jay Cutler for the Bears. Jay Cutler had an arm that matched Favre's, was a mobile quarterback, and was able to do all the things. And honestly, it wasn't even that he couldn't read defenses or didn't put the effort in and that kind of stuff. He was inconsistent. He would have streaks like Jordan Love had, we're like, this is the guy. And then he'd come back down to earth and be slightly above average with a 4 or 5 game streak of just being on fire, and he just never held it for the whole year. So Love right now looks like a guy who will always be above average with streaks of greatness. Eli Manning is a comp. Now, Eli's got 2 Super Bowls.
Matt Ryan.
Those
are guys who it could be worse, but like it also means every game you think you got a shot, which is fun. And it does kind of just maintain the status quo of Green Bay Packers.
Most NFL teams would take Jordan Love. I mean, and be happy with what it gives you, a bite at the apple. Maybe it's not as big as a bite you would have had with Aaron Rodgers, but when you're a sports fan, what you're really looking for is bites at the apple. Like, again, TJ
sounded like David Stearns.
Is that what he?
That was his slogan for the Brewers.
And now it's like I think it's like a Theo Epstein thing. At least I think that's where I first heard it it was with the Cubs, and it was always just like being in position to have the opportunity to do it, and that's why you need the quarterback. Like you can look at the Ravens are the outlier, but they have Lamar now, but. Otherwise, look at Chicago. There are times they've had great defense. Under Lovie Smith, they had great defenses. They were still kind of up and down. Sometimes they'd have playoff seasons. Sometimes they'd make the NFC Championship game. They made a Super Bowl. But they weren't consistently there because defense is just hard to roll over year. The quarterback play you can roll over. Defense, it only gets you got to have a good defense to win a Super Bowl, but a defense alone isn't going to win you a championship.
Right. And when we look at bites at the apple, right? In the 2000s, Tom Brady went to 4 Super Bowls. He won 3. 10 quarterbacks that weren't named Kurt Warner, Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, or Tom Brady made a Super Bowl, and they won 4 Super Bowls, the field. And so this Jordan Love keeps you in the field for sure.
Absolutely, and that's what I mean. Jordan Love gives you bites at the apple. Mm-hmm. Aaron Rodgers maybe gave you a better bite or a bigger bite.
Right.
And so that's the difference, but you're still bites at the apple. Right now, if you looked in the division, Jared Goff, proven, you have Jared Goff and Jordan Love are bites at the apple guy. Maybe they're smaller bites, but they're bites at the apple guys. We don't know what J.J. McCarthy's going to be. I don't know if Sam Darnold's going to stay. I would say one more season of Sam Darnold could be a bites at the apple guy too. And then Caleb, we don't know. Caleb could be. I think his floor is going to be a bites of the apple guy. I feel like he's going to get there with. Remember, he's 23 and had one season as opposed to and 2 head coaches, all that. So I think he'll get to bites of the apple guy. That's still not. That'd be the best the Bears have ever seen. But that means. To my point of the division, Jordan Love might be competing against only bites at the apple guys, so then your chances of winning the division are just as good as they've always been.
8 of the last 10 Super Bowls have had Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes in it.
Right, and then the other ones have featured, I think it's 9 out of the last 11 with the Super Bowl not having it, but Jane Daniels made it close. Rookie scale QBs.
Huh. Yeah. Well, this Super Bowl does not have that. They've got Jalen Hurts and Pat Mahomes. So
right. This is the first big money one in a long time.
We'll see. And
because Brock Purdy, rookie scale.
Yes.
Jalen Hurts. You can run him back.
But many of those, the money won. Because it's Tom Brady and it's Pat Mahomes.
The earned money won.
Sure.
Jordan Love, number 1 quarterback getting paid, right? Or number 2? He ain't number 2 quarterback.
He's tied. Yeah, he's right there with them all.
He ain't in that group.
It's tough. The
money doesn't matter.
Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love, Super Bowl next year. Let's go.
Yeah?
If the money mattered, that's the Super Bowl.
Duval.
I think we can.
The Jaguars are done. Poor Trevor Lawrence's career is cooked.
Oh, that's how I felt about Ben Johnson, though.
Did you feel it? You are the only one.
That's not true.
You're trying so hard to make
he looked so cringy.
No, dude.
I'm bought out. I don't care about him.
I don't care what your opinion is. Honestly, you're just trying too hard to be a hater.
That's not true. Am I a hater, Jim? You know me well.
Right, but Chicago's got the toughest media out there, without a doubt. He was not, Liam Cohen is brutal. Aaron Glenn was brutal. Ben Johnson was fine, but also Nick Sirianni and Dan Campbell had horrendous press conferences.
I'm not talking about, I actually watched some other stuff. It's not bad. He's not miserable, but that joke.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. You're trying too hard. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Outside in. That's what we call our Siding Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the stuff defending the outside of your home against Wisconsin's weather displayed inside. Many siding options and colors, plus full display of Pella windows and patio doors, and roofing too. Wisconsin's own Siding Unlimited, 4-time National Pella Platinum Premier Contractor of the Year, and proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, awaits you inside our showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. SidingUnlimited.com.
The number 7 just got a whole lot luckier because of Pizza Hut's $7 Deal Lovers menu. Enjoy all your Pizza Hut favorites from pizza, pasta, boneless wings, melts, cheese sticks, desserts, and so much more. All for $7 each when you buy 2 or more. With this lucky deal, you don't have to choose between great taste and great value. You can have both at Pizza Hut. Order on the app or online at pizzahut.com today. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
The area's best high school sports coverage is Zimbrick Honda's presentation of Prep Mania.
Tuesday Night Hoops on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania is where you can find the area's best high school basketball games all season long. Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. Catch star recruits, rivalries, and state championship contenders every Tuesday night. It's Tuesday Night Hoops on Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania.
Zimbrick Honda's Prep Mania on 100.5 ESPN and streaming live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Tegan Simpson from Oregon High School. What's it like to be a Panther?
I love being a Panther. I love the culture here. I love the teachers here and the people. It's a great school.
You're a wrestler and softball player?
I am.
And then wrestling, how did that come into play?
So I actually learned about wrestling my sophomore year of high school through Panthervision, which is like our school's news. There was a video, they were looking for people to join, and I thought it would be cool. I thought it would keep me in shape for softball season. So I went home and I told my parents, and we went out, we got my first pair of shoes, and I joined.
And you've been to state twice?
Yes, I have.
What's it like in the Kohl Center?
I couldn't even imagine it the first time I went. It's huge. You feel super official, and the lights, the people, the mats, they're super cool.
Professional volleyball is coming to Madison this January. Featuring Olympic medalists Lauren Carlini and Annie Drew Schumacher, Love Madison Volleyball is Madison's newest pro team. Get ready to watch some of the world's best volleyball players, from Olympic medalists to NCAA champions and international superstars, with the action kicking off on January 17th at the Wisconsin Fieldhouse. Visit lovb.com for more information and tickets for Love Madison matches. Volleyball is the next major league.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
We're going to skate to one song only.
JJ Poinette chimes in. I don't want to take too much away from Mahomes and Brady getting it done in second halves in so many playoff games, but so many of those comebacks can't happen if the Pats and Chiefs defenses essentially stop their opponent from scoring in the second half. Exhibit A, the 27-3 deficit against the Falcons. If the Falcons score 3 more points in the second half, it wouldn't matter what Brady and their offense did. Yeah, I'll give you a point on that, JJ, and actually it can help me transition to Tauscher's take on the Packers defense. He's Alex G. I am Jim Rutledge, Chrissy Birdsall, and Riley Yauk with me in the Everlight Solar Studio. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. You can watch us back on there. You'll see me in my Deerfield Beach hat, my FAU basketball shirt I picked up when I was on vacation. I made everyone wait in the car Because I realized college campus. Well, I wanted to go to the bookstore. And
so everyone had to stay in the car.
Well, the first day we went, it was Martin Luther King Day. I'm like, oh, everything's closed. So we walked around the campus and saw everything. But the second time, it's college campus. You have parking passes to park everywhere. So I just told my wife, I'm like, I'm just going to run in real quick to the bookstore and pick out something that I want. You guys stay in the car in case like the parking police roll up. It's a rental. I don't want to deal with the parking ticket with a rental. So I'm like, you can move it. And this was a Shelby convertible, Shelby Mustang convertible.
Oh, fun.
That thing roared when we started it. It was nuts, but that was a crazy car to have to start up and move. So I just want to take it for it. So I just ran in and grabbed, honestly, the first thing I saw that I liked and got this out there. So you can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. You can listen back Wisconsin on Demand, Apple, Spotify, and those great places. JJ and Ponette was chiming into our poll question, our first side unlimited poll question. And he chimed in on the Carbos Talking text line, 844-770-3776. Less is more. And the first question was basically, we were asking you, what's the biggest reason the Packers didn't win more Super Bowls with Rodgers and Favre? 41% of you say the front office. 34% of you say bad luck. 17% of you say QB play. And then at Jim, Matt, and Molly, we had a secondary question with the Packers, and I'm excited to ask Mark Tauscher this question. Would the Packers have won more Super Bowls with Brett Favre if Mike Holmgren had never left for the Seahawks? Right now it is 100% yes.
I don't like now. Right, I was 4-ish around the time that he left, so I obviously didn't get to watch a lot of the games, but I've seen the old Super Bowl reels and whatnot. He was those teams were great.
He was a Bill Walsh disciple, and
he turned around a franchise that forever had just stunk. Brought in great players, people who were excited to go play with him, and then boom, you get Super Bowl, you get MVP, you get another Super Bowl appearance. It's awesome. He leaves, the team's back to 8-8, a mid team, which is Super Bowl hangover. That's a real thing, I assume, but damn.
So Mark Tauscher is going to join the show later, but I want to hear Tauscher earlier today on Wilde and Tausch. She talked about and he said this a few times about the Packers defense. And the Packers defense, I agree with the first thing he said, improved. But I think I got a bone to pick on the caliber of this defense.
The good news as a Packer fan and why somebody, how far away are they? They got a long window. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, cute. Our defense made big strides.
No doubt.
Our defense was good enough this season to win.
Win what?
Our offense didn't get it done when the money was on the table.
So that's the bone I have to pick. This is not a Super Bowl defense. This defense got this team exactly where they deserve to go. You gave up 34 points in Week 1 against the Philadelphia Eagles, a playoff team. 31 against the Vikings. So then another one there. You did do a good job against the Rams, but they were missing Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. And then let's see, the next time they face a playoff, 24-22, that was good. But then you face the Lions, you give up 24, never really in that game. And then you give up, what's the next game? The Lions again, you give up 34. And then you face another playoff team in the Vikings and you give up 27. And more than that, and obviously in the playoff game. But let's look at this Eagles game. This is what I want to look at. Because the Packers' offense wasn't good enough. You're right. But the Packers scored a touchdown to start the fourth quarter to make it 16-10. Philadelphia was up 16-10. And what happened? Actually, let's go back a little bit further. In the third quarter, Brandon McManus finally gets the Packers on the score. They're down one score. This defense, we got a real defense. This defense is good enough. Dallas Goedert basically punched whoever was guarding him, Valentine, all the way down the field and scored a touchdown. So right there, the defense could have bowed up and made a stop and given the ball back to the offense to maybe get another field goal or something. Didn't happen. Okay. Now it's 16-3. Josh Jacobs, 1-yard run, 16-10. Another chance. This defense is good enough to win. Bow up. Gives up a field goal. Now it's 19-10. All right, the Packers offense gets the ball back. All right, we bow up. We can make this a one-score game. Another touchdown, and then they run. And they could have scored another with Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
We have to understand that this defense was as good as enough to get them as far as they got. This was not a premier defense. It is a growing defense, and it will be better next year. But I don't want to rewrite history on this year's defense. This year's defense reminded me of other defenses. What did the Bears do with Caleb Williams at the end of the game? Twice they got in the field goal range. What did the Detroit Lions do at the end of the game? They ran out the clock. How many times this year reminded me of old Joe Barry defenses? You need a stop. Didn't happen. In real games, you needed to stop, and the other team was able to bleed you out. And that was the story from Joe Barry to Mike Pettin and everyone in between. So this defense definitely made strides, but, I'll borrow from Dennis Green. If you want to crown their ass, but that's not a Super Bowl defense. I hope to God, as a Bears fan, that Goody and Hafley say that's a Super Bowl defense, because it ain't. It was a good defense, and it improved from Joe Barry, but it's got a long way to go to be a Super Bowl defense.
The defensive scheme was different. The defensive scheme, like the energy and what they brought was real.
Agreed.
There's 100%. They didn't have the killer instinct again because of exactly what you said. On 4th and 2, Detroit was able to just run for the first down and the game. There have been moments.
And let's just take a pause here. So, as an example, defense needs to make a play. The Packers, more often than not against good teams, the defense didn't come through. Let's look at the Chiefs. Josh Allen, 4th down. Spagnuolo, and now he's an all-time great defensive coordinator.
Right.
The Chiefs are a better defense than the Packers.
Yes.
But he pulled out an exotic blitz that he had held all game, basically all year. He had the onions to call it because Josh Allen's a good player, and he confused them. Had Josh Allen running backwards. Now Josh Allen still almost pulled off play. I don't blame the tight end for not catching that ball because that ball is pulling away from him. Like, it's throwing high in the air, which is not how you normally catch a ball, and it is falling the opposite direction he's trying to catch it. Like, that, to me, that's like trying to catch a 100-pound weight because that ball was a
punt fielding effectively.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been great if he made it, but I'm not killing him for not catching it, Kincaid. So my point is the Packers are it's a good defense this year, and it is a ascending defense, but it is long. It is far away from what Philadelphia's got and what the Chiefs got, and I think even what Buffalo had. And that's the Packers defense, to me, was a defense that got you to the playoffs. It was a playoff caliber defense. Can it make a step to a Super Bowl caliber defense? Yes, but you need more players.
Yeah,
a lot more pass rush.
Exactly. There it is.
And more secondary because you're going to lose Jair, and you don't have another corner.
It just stinks. It's so hard to lose Jair.
You're going to need 2 new corners at a minimum.
Yeah.
Nixon,
1.5. Nixon is a slot corner at best. He's not very good. Valentine is
fine.
A better cover corner.
To be a Super Bowl corner, you need 2 starting cornerbacks, and you need Valentine and Nixon as your other corners. You need Walker to be a guy he hasn't been his whole career. And you need Rashawn Gary to pull his head out of his butt and get actually play like his paycheck. You need Ben Ness to take a step we haven't seen him shows major signs to be able to take a massive step forward.
The front 7 is not talented enough.
Right.
It's not. The scheme is good. There's pieces there, but you need somebody who makes a splash play, and that's what Jair Alexander was for a long time. He was the kind of guy who you're just like, okay, Justin Jefferson, you don't get to touch the ball.
Here's the simplest fact. The reason why, we talked about this earlier, the reason why the Packers are not in the Super Bowl or didn't go farther in the playoffs, your 3 highest paid players didn't perform up to their paychecks this year. In Jair, Rashawn, and Jordan Love.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the simple answer to the whole season.
Kenny Clark in that conversation too.
That's why I can't call Goody outstanding. Back to yesterday's poll question. when you're three top paid players, duds compared to what they got paid, that ain't it. And Jordan Love had a good season. He did not have a quarterback. He did not have a season of a quarterback getting paid that kind of money. And those are the facts. And that's why Goody is not outstanding to me.
He's good. He's good.
I agree with you because that's the other part of this. There's a lot of GMs who have hits and misses. And we don't know, because, again, if Jordan Love is Baker Mayfield at $55.5 million per year, that's going to drop down Goody. Because then when was the last time he made a good first-round pick? Because Jordan Love's his best first-round pick, right? Or Jair, but Jair is flamed out. And paying him was a massive mistake, I guess.
Yes, but you can't predict injury. You can't.
Right. True. But Jair
that's bad
is more than injury.
That one is bad luck.
No. Rashawn Gary, if you want to tie... Well, Rashawn Gary actually was...
That's a bad call.
But also Jair, there's more than this.
Yeah, Jair went out as a captain when he explicitly was not a captain and almost ruined the coin toss and made the Packers kick off twice.
The Jordan Love contract,
case.
The Jordan Love contract is the contract I would give him the pass for because you have to pay him.
Yeah.
The other two, you had to see there's flags there. You had to pay Jair and you had to pay Rashawn Gary, but sometimes you fall in love and you get a little love blind on your guys.
He does that for sure. I still stand by Jair. I think that Jair was... Yeah, there's problems, but these are NFL players. Everyone has problems.
He just doesn't want to be here, which is a big mistake. You missed on that. I don't know what happened. He doesn't want to be here anymore, though. That's obvious.
He said goodbye to the team last year, and he still has money.
You want him around?
If he's willing to play, yeah, I don't care. He's not like a toxicity.
As another Packers fan, I don't want him around because he gave up halfway through the season and left.
He was injured. I stand by that. Like, he had surgery, season-ending, right? He did. Am I making that up?
No, he came back against the Bears. He was good to go, told the coaches he was fine, went in for one play, or maybe it was one possession, left, and we never saw him again the rest of the season.
His season did end on a surgery with the Packers. Don't necessarily believe he needed that surgery.
Okay, that's
because he was sitting for a while, and then he's like, I need the surgery. If he had the surgery earlier, he could have been back.
Yeah, and that makes sense, but I like to give some benefit of the doubt when it comes to injury.
This is year 2, though, of him being a knucklehead. It's not just injury here.
Right.
And and again, I'll go back to the Bakhtiari. The Bakhtiari not even playing. Remember him?
That stinks.
No, it doesn't. I'm glad he's out. For over 35 years, J&K has been Madison's trusted name in security. Whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, they are your one-stop shop for all things security. From cutting-edge intercom systems for your office to simply replacing that old lock in your front door, they've got you covered. With a network of top-tier suppliers, they create customized solutions tailored just for you. At J&K, customer service is their top priority, and your peace of mind is always their mission. Visit them today at jksecurity.com and experience the J&K difference. Your home, your business, our opportunity at J&K Security Solutions. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Hey, this is Matt's Chicago Doppelganger. You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN Madison.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank, with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Former Badger linebackers Zach Bond and Leo Chanel will be in the big game in the Big Easy. No matter who comes out as the victor, Barry Alvarez calls this a win for the Wisconsin program.
I love when you have Wisconsin players out on the field representing us and playing in the big time like that. That's impressive, and it's an added interest for me, and I'm sure for a lot of fans. When you have a Badger right in the mix, it even makes it more interesting.
The Great Dane Huddle with Barry Alvarez, streaming Monday nights at 6 on ESPN Madison's YouTube channel.
Pella can make your home as beautiful on the outside as it is comfortable on the inside. Celebrate the new year with 0% interest for up to 3 years at PellaWI.com.
It's New Year, new deals at Metro Ford of Madison. With 204 new vehicles in stock, Metro Ford is your home for the best selection and the biggest savings of 2025. Enjoy the 2024 Ford Escape with 1.9% APR for 66 months, $15.97 per thousand borrowed. Or get the future of driving with the 2024 Ford Mach-E at 0% APR financing for 72 months. But hurry, these deals end February 3rd. Visit Metro Ford in person or online at metrofordofmadison.com and drive off in the new Ford of your dreams today.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Hi, Dave from Canopy Wealth Management here. Our balanced approach helps guide you through a complex and ever-changing landscape. Throughout your family's financial planning journey, we will serve as a partner, advocate, and steward in all aspects to help you achieve your goals with confidence. At Canopy, care, competence, and clarity, it's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
No sleep till.
Get your phones out. We're going to get callers right now for the North and South Seafood and Smokehouse Minute to Win It. But before we do that, Riley Yauk, I'm Jim Rutledge. It's Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light, live from the Everlight Solar Studio. Riley, what is our category today?
Alrighty, so Jim, I got two options here. We've talked about Super Bowls and we've talked about defenses, either top 10 best defense of the NFL this past season or the top 10 teams with the most Super Bowl wins of all time. What do you think G will do worse at?
Probably the first one. You said top
10 defenses in the NFL this past year.
Okay. How are we doing on, like, what are we rating that on? Scoring defense or?
Total defense.
Total defense.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's do that one. What number are we setting the over-under at?
Let's go. I think he'll get a few. Either 6.5, 7.5. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. 7.5.
All right. So the over-under is 7.5. All right. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm getting the dry throat here.
No worries. Take a drink.
I'm glad you picked up on that cue.
Yes.
All right, so 844-770-3776. That's the phone number. What callers are we doing?
Let's do callers number 2 and 4. Even numbers. Keep it quick because I have to do a Sports Center.
Callers number 2 and 4, you're going to at least get a $25 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, maybe a $50 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Do you think Alex G will know more or less than 7.5 of the top 10 defenses in football this year? 844-770-3776. Caller number 2 and caller number 4, you're at least going to get a $25 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Maybe it'll even be a $50 gift card to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse if you can guess the right over-under. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Hello, I'm John Hayes, the owner of Goodman's Jewelers. It's been my pleasure to serve this community from this incredible store for over 4 decades. We stand upon high standards and classic traditions, pillars like honesty and integrity. Stop into Goodman's Jewelers, the longest-standing full-service jewelry store in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. Goodman's Jewelers, the diamond store of Madison since 1933.
The best is at Goodman's.
I love playing sports, especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
The Elder Care Locator is here to help you live your best life as you age at home. Our call center advisors are ready to connect you with trustworthy local experts. Help is just a phone call away at 1-800-677-1116.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
this is Derek Engler. You're listening to a Good Karma Brands radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's
let
gonna
me get
swing
this
on
right.
Jim. He's a complicated fellow. Oh.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
I'm going to match your energy, and if you're going to bring false titles, I'll bring false titles.
They're not false. Your
They're
6
old
are
as
real.
hell.
My 4 are real.
But they're old as hell.
So you can tell Rutledge that. That is absolutely ridiculous.
Amen.
Because I'm here for whatever. If you get food poisoning from a place, do you go back?
Like for more food?
No, if you go back ever, like you get a bad burger from a place.
And give him a second chance? No.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside America's favorite Alex Gravatt. Here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. G, if the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
He's Alex G. I am Jim Rutledge. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. You can see us on the YouTube stream. By us, I mean me, Jim Rutledge, Alex G, Chrissy Birdsall on the stream as well. Riley Yelk will make an appearance at some point as well. Riley, did we get our callers?
Yes, we did. We have Eric in Green Bay, who was the first caller and chose the under.
Ouch.
And then we have Mike from Sun Prairie, who was stuck with the over.
Mike, congratulations.
All right, Riley.
You guys forgot about me. I stood out in the hallway.
Yeah, we did.
Maybe.
North South Seafood Smokehouse, we were just there. Fantastic place. So hopefully you'll be able to use your $50 or $25 gift card there. I recommend the burnt ends. Catfish bites are great. I actually just talked to Kelly Sheffield, the coach of Badger Volleyball, and I just asked him, like, what do you get? He was like, every time I'm like, I want to try something different, but I can't pass up the burnt ends, the meat candy, over at North South Seafood Smokehouse. So that's what I recommend, especially if it's your first time there. But there is a lot of great food there. The bowls at lunchtime are fantastic. I've gone in there and gotten they do kind of like a bowl, you kind of little rice and whatever protein you want and everything. So lots of great options at North South Seafood Smokehouse in Madison, Verona, and DeForest. All right, let's get into Minute to Win It and share the category, and let's get it rolling here, Riley.
Will they beat the odds?
That's not
It's
going
okay.
well.
Beat the
There we
odds?
go.
I say everything with pure confidence, whether I think I'm totally right or not.
Or crumble under pressure?
I legitimately know one of these. I legitimately have one.
This is the Minute to Win It, presented by North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, with 3 locations in Madison, DeForest, and Verona.
ESPNW reporting this, but shout out to Chrissy Birdsall for telling me. Breaking news, Nebraska volleyball head coach John Cook, as I just mentioned, Kelly Sheffield of Badger Volleyball, he's retiring after 25 seasons with the school.
Let's go!
Cook led the Huskers to 4 national championships, 12 national semifinals. A legend. But yeah, good for the...
Super good for the Badgers.
Good for the Badgers. He's gone. Not that Kelly Sheffield couldn't beat him, but it's always,
it's
the
easier.
road's a little easier.
It's easier.
All right, let's get into it.
Alrighty, G. Your category today is the top 10 defenses in the National Football League in the year of our Lord 2024. Total defense.
Total defense.
Total
is that
defense.
yardage or is that scoring or just?
Yeah, it combines all of them. It's total defense. Whatever that stat means, it's
Okay,
total defense.
That's a stat I'm not super familiar with. So, Mike, I'm sorry, but
just the best defenses in the NFL.
I guess if you just list the defenses that feel the best to you.
Yeah,
it's simple.
Let's send it.
Alrighty, here we go.
So I think the Chiefs are up there. I'm gonna go with the Ravens. I just want to have the teams in front of me.
No,
that's fair. That's fair. Closing the laptop.
Yep.
So I said Chiefs, Bills, Ravens. Okay, who are some other teams that were really good this year? I know the Texans were good. I'm not going to say that yet. The AFC East didn't have much going for it. The AFC West had... Oh, the Broncos for sure. What was the over-under?
7.5.
7.5, okay.
That was probably too high.
We'll go with the Lions. Oh, man. I know their pass defense was tough, but I didn't realize it was that bad. This is tricky because there's like certain things that I know are really good. Vikings. Dang. All right, I struck out.
Yep, and you only had 10 seconds left.
That's
anyways.
why
You got 3 strikes. Yeah, we're out.
That'll do it.
So were the Texans on that list?
The Texans were on the list.
Yeah.
That would have given you 4.
Okay. Well, I guess you guys can run through it because I'm done guessing. Dang.
Alrighty, going from 1 to 10, best defenses in the NFL. Number 1, the Eagles, currently in the Super Bowl. Number 2, I don't think you would have gotten 2 or 3. Number 2, the Titans, second best total defense in the NFL.
What stats are this off of?
No, their defense was really good. I just think of some of the games, especially early in the year. Will Levis was abysmal, and the Titans defense.
He did throw a backwards interception. That was real bad.
Yeah, this is according to NFL.com, so you can take it up with them. Number 3, the New York Jets.
I knew they were okay. I didn't think it was that good.
Well, you said nothing doing in the AFC East. Back-to-back teams. The Miami Dolphins clock in at 4. Number 5, our very own Green Bay Packers. Let's go.
The only maybe not the only NFC North teams. Did the Bears make it?
No, they did not. Texans at 6.
They had a really rough run after they fired Eberflus.
Then you have the Broncos at 7, which you guessed correctly.
Chargers.
Nope. The 49ers.
I love that your other
8.
guesses are still wrong.
Yeah. And then finally,
the Chargers allowed 18 points per game.
Well, maybe
That's
they're
the
best
second best in the league.
Well, I guess that's points per game, not total defense. I'm assuming it's yardage. I don't know. Go
total
to NFL.
Defense would be yards.
Yeah, go to NFL.com. And you got 9 and 10. You got the Chiefs and the Ravens as your first 2 guesses.
Huh. Not great, G.
Okay, let me just point out that if it were points per game, I would have had almost all my guesses right.
If
Detroit were 11.
we'd all be drunk, Alex G.
Yeah, how do you feel
about that?
Shout out Chris Orr.
I listen here. Total defense. Okay, that's fair. Just say yardage.
Someone's in their
the
fields.
stats,
I'm
total
a little
defense.
salty.
That's the name of the stat. I don't know why you're coming at me.
All right. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. The weather's starting to turn, and I tried 3 times today to get my big blue truck from Simmons Chevy in Mount Horeb washed because it's a beautiful big blue truck, and I want to get it washed, but apparently everyone else had the same idea to wash their car today. So maybe on the way home I'll be able to do it because you got a big, beautiful truck like I got from Simmons Chevy Mount Horeb. You want to showcase it and show off how shiny it is when it is clean. If you're in the market for a new or new to you Colorado or Silverado, I recommend Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Alex G, Jim Rutledge with you. And G, before we get to break here, I wanted to circle back on yesterday's Siding Unlimited poll question. How would you describe Brian Gutekunst's tenure as the Packers GM? Outstanding, above average, or middle of the road?
I mean, I think it's above average, right? The team continues to be a team that goes out and beats bad teams. They put up, was it 10 wins this year? That's pretty good. You can't complain too much about it. But there's a level of all-in that it doesn't feel like he's willing to take, right? Like, in order to win big, you have to gamble big. And sometimes you're getting punched in the face. And I feel like his gambles are like on himself exclusively. He's like, oh, well, I know Rashawn Gary's going to be good. I drafted that guy. And he's fine. I mean, he's good, not great. And he's the guy that you chose to pay. I'm still pro Jair Alexander payment. I think it was a fine choice at the time. You lock up what is one of the best cornerbacks in the league when healthy. So I don't hate that. But then again, that's a guy he drafted. The other guy he drafted, Jordan Love. Those are the 3 that you chose to pay. And we could use something else. You need a dynamic playmaker that, Jair was, that Jordan Love could potentially be, that Rashawn Gary is not. I think that, a little bit of Tampa Bay all in when they got Tom Brady, a little bit of, what the Rams have done. They've traded away first-round picks every year, and it seems to work out for them because they just keep being good. And this year, even though they're in cap hell, all this stuff, made the playoffs.
That was one of our Siding Unlimited poll questions. You can chime in on that. Carlos talking text line 844-770-3776. This is more. Other Siding Unlimited poll question. What's the biggest reason the Packers didn't win more Super Bowls with Favre and Rodgers? 43% of you still sticking with the front office. We'll come back and we'll throw some stones.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Do you want to have more fun watching the NFL playoffs? Try playing Sleeper Picks. Just download the Sleeper app today and pick more or less on at least 2 players' projected stats. You can win up to 100 times your cash. For a limited time, Sleeper has a special offer. New users have to just play $5 and they'll receive $55 in free entries. Just download the Sleeper app today and use code BRAD, B-R-A-D. Must be 18 years or older. Promo code, location, and other restrictions apply. Minimum deposit $25. See terms of use for details. Please play responsibly. Call 1-800-426-2537 for help.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely with no drugs or injections, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, or exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can lose weight quickly and keep the weight off for good with an easy-to-follow maintenance plan that includes ongoing personal support. And our program costs half as much and works up to twice as fast than most other programs. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation now.
Hi, it's Jesse Nelson. I was able to drop 40 pounds thanks to Madison Weight Loss. It's the only program I've ever experienced to actually achieve my weight loss goals. Check out MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule a free consultation and see how the program can help you.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Hey, it's Bobby Portis, and I love playing basketball in Milwaukee. When I drive down the lane, I move fast and make sudden moves to drive to the hoop and score. But when I'm behind the wheel in the driving lane, I control my drive. I don't speed or make sudden movements. Speeding and reckless driving are the leading causes of traffic injuries and deaths in Wisconsin. Do what I do. Control your drive. Don't speed. Don't be reckless. Zero in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Wisconsin DOT.
When you've been seriously injured, you'll need a team with knowledge and experience to get the results you deserve. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you. 844-770-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Is Morgan Wallen the new Nickelback?
What?
Is Morgan Wallen the new Nickelback? Like, nobody likes Nickelback. Like, people who support them be like, look at all the records they sold. Nickelback still sucks. It's very formulaic. It's very rudimentary. Of course you like it. It's like eating a sweet tart. Like, you know, it's like ketchup. Ketchup, the most palatable food out there because it touches all the notions on your tongue. And so people like Morgan Wallen, Nickelback, these other bands, they make this trash music that's basically designed to hit your brain pleasure zones for the songs, but they're not actually good. They're not put together.
What is good music?
Well, that's the question. Is pop like? It doesn't mean you can't like it, but you have to understand that is formulaic garbage. To me, I look at it like food. So that is candy. That is junk food. It is junk food for your ears, as opposed to there are other types of music that are more substantial.
What makes a song substantial?
I think songs that have layers in the writing, and again, I'm not an expert on this, but there are, like, if you hear, like, who's your favorite artist?
I'm a pretty big fan of Quinn 92.
And who are
I
they?
think Panic at the Disco's good. They're like, they have some.
Are they doing something that's
beboops.
unique and out of the box and not the traditional cookie cutter stuff? Whether it's with the lyrics, whether it's with the beat, whether it's with taking chances. Like, we're hearing the Bleachers in the background, obviously, with Taylor Swift. The Bleachers take some weird chances. So sometimes it misses, sometimes it hits. To me, that's a better artist than, like, let's say Morgan Wallen, who's pumping out the same formulaic crap over and over again.
I have never once in my life gone out of my way to listen to Morgan Wallen.
You're not missing anything. You heard one song, you heard them all.
I think that a lot of artists fall into that trap because they
most
repeat
country
their
now
own
is
stuff.
pop. Most country now is pop country.
Okay,
and so like he doesn't take any chances.
Are the Green Bay
for
Packers?
Well, one more thing, like for Beyonce, like she took a chance and she made a country album.
Oh,
like,
great album.
You took a chance. Taylor Swift went from country to pop, and she takes random chances. Morgan Wallen, they take chances, just like Nickelback doesn't take chances. They're like, just cut me the checks, write the songs for me, lay out the formulaic plan for me, and I'll just sing it.
I think the last Panic at the Disco album really was a cookie cutter. No risks, just boring.
But like to that point, that's when bands don't become sellouts when they quote unquote sell out or like they get popular. They become sellouts when they decide to just get lazy and be like, we'll just crank out formulaic stuff.
Right, and then in which I gotta be honest, Panic at the Disco did a great job for a long time, and then he made all of the money on his last album and a half, and I'm like, you know what? You can ride off into the sunset. Yeah. Congratulations.
I respect someone who goes completely off like out of left field with an album, be like, I'm just trying something different, and if it misses, it misses, as opposed to I'm just going to try to lay out.
I think it'd be really hard to, like, unless you're Beyonce, it's really hard to get those fans back. Like, I imagine
agree,
that'd be hard.
But I mean, that's why it's like that takes guts, that takes art, integrity.
So who are some outside of Beyonce? Like who makes good music?
Again, it's all
or takes the risk.
Here's musicians like I respect take the risk, like Bon Iver, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I think he would.
You and Aaron Rodgers,
right? But I'm just going off of what like types of music that I think people take chances in.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Isbell, who also has written a million songs for a bunch of other artists, he is someone that I really enjoy. Chris Stapleton, but they take some chances. Now, I'm not saying they don't make pop stuff, but they're just not cranking out formulaic music as opposed to whoever it is, Luke Bryan, other like Morgan Wallen, like all the pop country ones. Like you're taking, like, for example, like Jelly Roll, I don't think he has a good voice. I don't think he's particularly good. I heard someone say like Jelly Roll's like Adele for old dudes because he just sings very sad, deep songs, and he's got a great voice. But I don't think he's particularly talented as an artist. I think he's a good singer.
And I think there's a level of that too, because like I find myself finding artists who I like their voice, and it doesn't matter what they do. If they're like nailing the vocals, give me more of that. That's Sammy Ray, the Friends, Lake Street Dive, that sort of thing. Like, oh yeah, just.
And again, I'm not saying that there's plenty of trash music. I eat the candy. Like, I just acknowledge it's candy. That's all I want people to do. So Morgan Wallen is having a second show at Camp Randall. That's why I brought him up.
Doubled up.
Yeah,
they sold out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, a lot of candy lovers here. Alex G. Jim Rutledge.
I like Morgan Wallen. Just for the record, I'm a country music fan.
I don't. Again, not liking him's not the problem. Do you like him with open eyes and be like, this is candy?
I guess I just don't look at music that intently.
And there's plenty.
It's just not.
Jim does come after music.
Yeah, I'm not really.
I don't hates my.
Let me just put this into perspective. My Spotify Wrapped, my third most listened to album or artist was EA Sports College Football 25 Marching Band.
Love it.
that was my third most listened to band because I like fight songs. I just want to listen to fight songs.
So then I have no problem with that.
Wow.
Because Riley, to me, the vibe is that he's like, I just enjoy it. I don't care if it's good or not. I enjoy it.
Yep,
that's fine. Like I don't have a problem with that one. I just don't come at me trying to tell me Morgan Wallen's good. Like, that would be the problem I have.
This is so toxic.
Why is it toxic?
You're like, no, you can't. If you like it, if most people like it, it's not good.
No.
Ketchup's not good.
No. Popular can still be good. Like, Kendrick Lamar is very popular. I think he's a very talented rapper.
Okay. There's fairness there.
But again, it's not even me. Like, if you just like musical critics, like Chris Stapleton was going to get higher in, and he sells a lot and he fills arenas. He's going to get higher critiques or critics, things like that. They're going to pump up his album for the actual music artist integrity.
Not good, it is bad, right?
I'm talking as far as like again. I'll go candy and.
But candy's not good for you. It's bad for you. It hurts your teeth.
But this is music. It's not bad for you. It's just it's not filling.
Can
it's
we
not
create?
It doesn't fulfill you.
It has one speed. It makes you feel one thing.
Can we create like a Jim Rutledge music ranking scale?
And actually, I'm not the worst one on this.
I'd like to know
Matt
this.
Hamilton is the one that is like basically if Matt Hamilton, if they sell more than 1 million records, Matt's not out on them. Like,
he's so goofy.
Yeah, so like that's not my take on it.
And
yeah,
food. Oh my gosh.
So I'm not of the if they're popular, they're not good ilk. I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying that Morgan Wallen's songs aren't catchy. And also again, country music misses me. There's nothing that I can relate to in country music.
If the song is catchy, is that like the number one reason that it's not like a good song?
No, because I love songs from the 80s. They're all like 80s music is mostly trash. I love 80s pop and all that kind of stuff.
Did you ever listen to Walk the Moon?
Yes.
I like Walk the Moon. Not just their one big song.
They have an 80s vibe to
a lot
them,
of synth.
Well, that's why I like the Bleachers. They have a very Bruce Springsteen sort of synth pop vibe to it. Again, I'm not saying everything I listen to is great. If you look at my list, there's Chappell Rowan is candy. I enjoy her songs, but I also know it's candy.
I tend to agree. I think she does some things that are really cool. I think Sabrina Carpenter actually has a lot of like different vibes. Like
besides Taylor Swift,
diverse.
You know what I think is I think Taylor Swift takes a lot of chances. Olivia Rodrigo. I think she's incredibly talented. Billie Eilish.
I like Billie Eilish.
She's done a million. Like she's taken chances. She's had like 3 different types of careers. She kind of had like a hip hop sort of one. Then she sang the more dramatic "What Am I Made For" from Barbie, and now she's got this. So she's taken a lot of chances.
Lizzo's bad music though.
She made one album.
Yeah,
and I like the song. Like I like 2 or 3 of her songs. Like the ones on the radio. Like those are
Bruno
fun.
Mars also in that realm.
Yes,
I would say
Bruno Mars. Yes,
Yeah.
that would be Bruno Mars and Morgan Wallen. Like again, similar, popular. I'm not even saying it like you're bad for listening to it. I'm just saying it's not. Nobody's like that hit. Like that is good music.
844-770-3776. What's your music take? Like, is Jim wrong? I don't know.
Music's personal, but whatever. Again, my wife would be very upset. Like when I got dragged to the Morgan Wallen concert, I had to promise. I did take a. I didn't want to go. I mean, we had good friends and partners going, so I'm like, I'll go. I didn't know but one song out of all the songs played in that whole. Hardy, I don't know who that is, and I don't know who played before that, and I only knew one Morgan Wallen song.
I'm not a country music guy either. I went to, and I don't even remember, I can't, it was at Summerfest. It was one of the country guys. He's a little bit older. I think he's from Australia. I don't know what his name is. He's got the straight kind of blonde hair. Anyway, the music was fine. I didn't mind. The vibes were pretty good. I wanted to have like 2 or 3 Coors Lights and just enjoy a nice summer evening.
The vibes at the Morgan Wallen concert were good because I was in with a good group.
Right.
The Luke Bryan concert at the farm or whatever, the vibes were not good. Everyone was basically, it's a bunch of like 50-year-olds who forgot that they can't drink like they're 25. So honestly, we left early because I'm like, I don't really want to be
drive
here when
home
people,
with all
like,
those
we were
people?
not very far
You don't
away.
want to get stuck in that traffic.
Yeah,
Because what was in
that
East
mud,
Troy
yes.
and one road out of East Troy?
This was in Brooklyn.
Oh,
which
okay.
Which is like 3 minutes from my house. So we luckily, with how late we went, so we missed the opening acts, we were able to get in pretty easy, and then we were able to get out pretty easy because we left early. Because I'm like, I don't want to be here when everyone's trying to leave. And so that worked out. But again, I don't know. I didn't know any of his. I think I knew like one song. Does he sing the Korn song? Korn Makes Whiskey.
That's Luke Bryan.
That's Luke Bryan. Yeah.
That's a fun song.
Again, it's a fun song. I'm not saying it's not a fun
Whiskey
song.
makes my baby.
This is weird.
Feels
Somebody
frisky.
just texted my phone. Not a
Personal talk and text line.
I don't have their number. I'm so sorry, whoever this is. Yes, it was Keith Urban. They sent a picture of Keith Urban. Fun show. If you obviously have my phone number, could you please text me your name?
I'm sorry, who's Keith? Why did Keith Urban pop up?
Because that's the show I went to.
Oh.
So somebody I don't know just reminded me that.
Gotcha.
Oh, it's Chrissy Birdsall standing right next to me. That makes sense. That makes sense.
So,
All right.
so was that? Were these the stones we were throwing today? Or
Wait, was this
just
throwing stones?
skipping that?
I guess this was Stones. Brought to you by Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. Go be a winner. We got a dunk on Bielema later. We can ask Tauscher about the Bielema pathetic take on.
For sure. Also, my quick throwing stones. Ryan, stop stealing my drinks from the fridge.
Ryan Wollersheim.
Prime times just. This is not the first time it's happened. I'm mad.
So AC and Toast chimes in. Jim's almost all right almost all the time. Thank you. Casey. He asked, what's one group your wife likes that you hate? Both the ones I just listed, Morgan Wallen and Nickelback. And Walker Hayes.
Heard the name.
That's the Applebee's guy.
Oh, yeah, I know that
Who's
song.
now, at this point, it's sad because he's got like 4 of them. He came out with a second one, and then he had a Christmas one.
And it's all fancy?
Yeah, that's fancy like Christmas, and then fancy like there's a second one.
Okay, if you're just...
You
can only do the same thing so
Morgan
many
Wallen
times.
is better than him.
Yes,
like, there are
thank you.
levels
I'm
to
glad.
this. Yes.
I'm glad you'll at least
Yes.
allow that.
Like the Tommy Two Tones bit where they came on to the late night show all wearing a shirt that said "One Hit Wonder." Lean into it, bro.
Yeah.
You hit it
Yeah.
once, you got your money.
So
You're
honestly,
fine.
This was pre like TikTok, but it was on YouTube. There was a group that would sing the 3-chord song, and there's a 3-chord song where basically most pop songs are the same 3 chords. And so if your favorite artist is turning out most of their songs with the 3-chord pop song sort of motif, then they're not necessarily good. You still can like them.
I think it's
like I'm
I think
a Bears
it's
fan.
4
The Bears stink. I still like them.
4 chords.
4 chords.
Yeah,
song, okay.
C, G, F, and G
So
minor.
I
apparently.
want to share this one little interesting bit of music stuff because I get sucked into different things and I find it interesting. So I listened to this podcast for a while. This was more pandemic time, but the song "Let It Go" by
Elsa and Anna?
yeah.
Idina Menzel.
Thank you,
Yeah.
Idina Menzel. That's what I was trying to think of. So that song it broke from how Disney used to do their movies for a little bit, and then obviously they've more of that. What was the Hamilton guy?
Oh my!
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yes, thank you.
And I knew it was a combination of that. I just didn't know the correct combination. So he's written basically every Disney movie since, like, for the last 4 or 5 years, and they've been great. But that song was more of a ballad, the Let It Go song. The crescendo of Let It Go is the exact same chord, and this isn't copy. This wasn't like ripping them off, whatever, as Don't Stop Believing. So at the crescendo of Don't Stop Believing is the exact so basically that song Don't Let It Go was basically an 80s power ballad. Just for kids.
Just trying to release, and like parents will like it hopefully because it'll release maybe that same dopamine, right? Like you've heard that exact one before, you're like, oh.
So again, that podcast I listened to was a better job of breaking down of how are you assembling these chords, how are you arranging the music, how are you writing the lyrics to make it a truly great and original song that gets people to like it because it is great and original. Or are you cranking out a song to getting people to like it because it's the same 4 chords and it's very formulaic? I'll just say things you like beer, truck. It's like the country, what's that? Cornfield. What's that? The comedian,
Bo Burnham.
Bo
Burnham.
Yeah. That's most country music.
But he went after every music type too, which was awesome.
Yes.
I really thought that was funny.
Yeah, and he did a great job. All right, we're going to talk to Mark Tauscher coming up next. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Hey, this is Matt's Chicago Doppelganger. You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN Madison.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
When it comes to your body, you want to trust a doctor, and you want to trust the experts. That's why the only place that you should consider going for GLP-1s and semaglutide is Carbon World Health in Madison, because they're run by Dr. Nestor Rodriguez. They have a workout facility and trainers to help you reach your goals, and they can help with dietary suggestions. The experts for semaglutide and GLP-1s is Carbon World Health. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every U. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semrau with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Tegan Simpson from Oregon High School. What's it like to be a Panther?
I love being a Panther. I love the culture here. I love the teachers here and the people. It's a great school.
You're a wrestler and softball player?
I am.
And then wrestling, how did that come into play?
So I actually learned about wrestling my sophomore year of high school through Panthervision, which is like our school's news. There was a video, they were looking for people to join, and I thought it would be cool. I thought it would keep me in shape for softball season. So I went home and I told my parents, and we went out, we got my first pair of shoes, and I joined.
And you've been to state twice?
Yes, I have.
What's it like in the Kohl Center?
I couldn't even imagine it the first time I went. It's huge. You feel super official, and the lights, the people, the mats, they're super cool.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new to you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Green Bay Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
What did you call yourself, Thundercat? Well, I appreciate it, Thunder.
Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer
Matt Hamilton. Help me out. Who is that?
Wisconsin football analyst.
You know what? It feels like Molly's the only one that's being sincere about that. So, Molly, I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly is brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers. Chalmers Jewelers, with locations in Middleton and downtown Madison.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Jim Rutledge, Alex G with you. We got Riley Yalk behind the glass, and we got Chrissy Birdsall in the studio as well. And we're thrilled to be joined by Mark Tauscher. And, Mark, we were kind of just talking about some of the dynasties, the Steelers, the 49ers, Cowboys, Patriots, and now the Chiefs. And it got me wondering, do you think the Packers would have won more Super Bowls if Mike Holmgren never left?
Ooh, good question. I would think so. Obviously, his run in the mid-'90s and what he was able to do was huge. But I think that loss to Denver and then the way it ended, he ended up getting to another Super Bowl with Seattle. So I think his foundation was always really good. And I think Brett, whether or not that message and that voice would have eventually gotten old, I don't know. That era of Packer football, I think, ended that day out in San Francisco when Holmgren left, and then it took a while to kind of reboot it. But I think you would have hoped that they would have been able to, at least get to another one and hopefully win it.
And just following up on that, just with the Holmgren era, one thing I think, and it's obviously you look back retroactively, it's hard to do it in the moment, but he came from the Bill Walsh coaching tree, and obviously Bill Walsh had a great coaching tree. But Mike Holmgren, as Andy Reid is going to the Super Bowl again, and John Gruden and others, I think these coaches are as much a product of the assistants they hire than their actual own brilliance. Is that a fair way to look at it?
I think it's a very fair way to look at it. And you look at, obviously, Sean McVay won a championship. Kyle Shanahan has not, but it just seems like that tree keeps repopulating itself. Yeah. And you saw it a little bit with the Packers saying they needed an upgrade at defensive line, outside linebacker to get more production. The assistant coaches and position coaches, that's where you make your hay. You get guys to improve, you get buy-in, and I do think those spots, offensive coordinator gets a lot of, play caller, defensive coordinator, and deservedly so. But you want guys that are going to continue to help their players improve so that they can execute what the play is called at a higher level. And I think you've seen the successful staffs, there's a reason they get rated. It's because these coaches are good and they're ready for their next step. And then it's, can you repeat that? And I think that's one of the things Detroit's going to have to deal with.
Mike Holmgren's 1992 staff: Andy Reid, Steve Mariucci, Dick Duran, Ray Rhodes, John Gruden.
A lot of head coaches on that staff.
Yeah, so as I look at it, and I've struggled with this too, because it's just been nothing but Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady, it feels like, for the last handful of years. And so at what level is it the coaching and quarterback combo, or is it just a quarterback thing at this point? Because I'm struggling to see past the guys at the top.
I think, there's a reason people chase quarterbacks and have that relationship with coaches. It makes a big difference. And the biggest thing, obviously, talent, but you saw it on Sunday night with what Mahomes did. You have that calm, and you have everybody. I thought the analogy, I think it was Damian Woody put it out there, of the Tiger Woods effect. It's not that it just affects your locker room and your team, that everybody believes that you can win. I know I felt that way with both Brett and Aaron. Is every time we laced them up, I thought we're good enough because this position, we're going to win. And when you have that spot, you get that. And then when you have that experience of it always works out, or it is going to work out 9 out of 10 times, what you do with Kansas City, you get that belief. And then on the flip side, everybody else presses. You're playing Tiger on Sunday, you feel like you got to do more. I think we saw that with Buffalo, especially early in the game. They pressed, and so it's a combination of a lot of things, but the biggest thing is you have that quarterback in the room. You have 100% buy-in, and most of the other locker rooms in the NFL don't.
Talking with Mark Tauscher on Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. And Mark, with I think I heard this in one of the Lions broadcasts where Dan Campbell went for it all the time on fourth down because he wanted his players to be comfortable in the uncomfortable, that when they had to go for it on fourth down later in the game when more pressure was on it wouldn't feel so big. And then I also heard Julian Edelman on Sportsmanlike with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman talking about how the Patriots, and the Chiefs reminded him of his time with the Patriots, because basically the Chiefs kind of hang around just like the Patriots of like, hey, maybe you'll beat yourself. We're just going to hang around in this game. But because we've been in these close games at the end of the game, and maybe to your point about having the quarterback, we just are comfortable in the uncomfortable, so we know that we're going to go close it out. How much do you think that is an effect, whether it's going for it on fourth down a lot or just having that QB? Like, how much do you think that plays in? Because obviously some of these games, like Buffalo had Josh Allen, they believed in their quarterback too. So how much do you think having been in those moments over and over and over again helped create a dynasty like the Chiefs and the Patriots had?
It's about figuring out ways to win. I saw Matt Patricia on somebody's podcast talking about, a lot of games are just lost. The Packers against the Eagles, we just lost the game. We turned it over 4 times. Philly didn't do anything special. They hung around, and it's about figuring out a way. What does your team need to do to win? It's not always, well, my offense is going to be a juggernaut. Well, if you're running into the 85 Bears, maybe you need to slow down their offense and find different ways to win. And I think New England was great at that. They win a Super Bowl 13-3. You realize, what is the game asking for you to need to win, and then you go out, you put a plan together that that your teammate, that your players can execute, and guys believe in it. When you have players that believe in the coaches are going to put you in a position to win, it's the same principles as the quarterback. Everybody has been in there already. They've seen it. They believe that they can, and when you do it, your belief only gets that much stronger.
So when you have that belief and that understanding, like the way to win, I'm curious, which coaches did you have specifically, whether it was Holmgren or whoever? I guess you didn't play under Holmgren, but that did have that way to win. And like, have you seen that from Matt LaFleur?
I think it's a great question. As far as what it takes to win, every team is different. And when you have those core guys like Kansas City has, or like New England had, you have so many guys to lean on, and you figure ways out about doing it. Matt LaFleur, I think, is still trying to figure out. I think part of the beginning of his process was with Aaron Rodgers, Aaron, Devontae, Jordan, the whole crew. You try to find out what is it going to take at that time to find the recipe to win a football game. And the playoffs, everything is magnified, and it really does come down to you don't make mistakes. And when you have your opportunities, whether it's making a sack or batting a ball down at the end of a game, when you put your guys in those positions, they execute. And it just is a confidence thing that breeds upon itself.
I saw in a report, and obviously the Eagles were a team that creates turnovers against a lot of different teams, but the Eagles coaches and players watched every peanut punch from Charles Tillman's career. Nick Sirianni and Pat Doyle put together a tape of it, and the peanut punch has popped up basically throughout football now. And I'm trying to remember a player who had one specific thing, a move outside of like a quarterback, that's been basically copied and almost taught now as a technique in the NFL. You were playing during that time. Do you remember, were your team starting to try to figure out how to do the punch more, or was it something that's been adopted later? Because it does seem to be very popular now.
Yeah, we all knew Peanut Tillman, respected the heck out of him because he was great. He did it to our guys a bunch. And that is one of the things. I mean, LT with the strip sack, chopping down on the football from the blind side, that's another one that you see more and more guys emulating. But Charles Tillman is one of the, it is one of the signature moves in the NFL. And if Philly's teaching it, they're getting it because Zach Bond has done it a couple of different times. And those are the game-changing plays that you're talking about. Those are your winning plays, trying to find different ways to win. I remember it vividly, and Peanut Tillman is somebody that I know has everybody's respect in the NFL.
Yeah, and I wanted someone, not to transition to someone who maybe doesn't have the same amount of respect, but Brett Bielema has spent a lot of time on social media today dunking on Jim Harbaugh, and it's really hard to figure out why, because Brett never beat Harbaugh. They never really overlapped with each other. Harbaugh obviously has a larger resume. What do you think of coaches, we don't have to be specific to this, but coaches basically trying to create publicity for themselves, I guess in theory, to drive eyeballs and attention to their program? I guess Brett's under the idea of no news is bad, or basically no press is bad press, because this feels weird.
I think you just need to be authentic to who you are, and I think Brett likes stirring the pot.
Okay.
He did that at Wisconsin. Be who you are, and I think Brett likes that. And, whether or not he beat Michigan or not, I think the fact that Michigan has been clouded under all of these allegations, if he can find a way to get one or two recruits that maybe he wouldn't have because of it, or that bravado is, sells, it's who Brett is. And I think if he was trying to be somebody he's not, he wouldn't be doing his team or himself anything positive. I think I don't have a problem with it. That's kind of how Brett operates.
With the Super Bowl, obviously, we have Zach Bond and Leo Chanel, and it got me thinking about Luke Fickell, and he's got players in the NFL. Sauce Gardner, the Packers had one in DeGuara, Desmond Ridder. There's been guys from Cincinnati. Who do you think the first, whether it's a transfer portal guy or a guy that Luke Fickell brought in here as a freshman, who do you think that first Badger under the Luke Fickell era will be in the pros? Obviously, Hunter Wohler will be there and Braylon Allen's there, but like a guy that Fickell brought in. Because I think that will help turn the program when more pro-type players come through, even if it's the TJ Edwards, Zach Bond kind of, Mark Tauscher, grind your way in the NFL and work your way up sort of pros.
Yeah, it's a great question. I think that's going to be one of the things to see if we can get who those guys are going to be. I mean, Luke has been here 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Hunter Wohler was here before. I think Hunter Wohler is going to be a really good pro.
Yes.
Is he going to take credit for it? I don't know how all of that works.
Right. Yeah.
It's more importantly, I think, as a group and as a team, if you can start putting 6 and 7 guys out that are going to be in the draft. And I think the last couple of years, I don't even know. I think Jack Nelson will get drafted. I think Huber will get drafted. Hunter will get drafted. It's about the collective. And then, was anybody saying how great Zach Bond was before this season started?
No.
He was an early pick, but nobody said anything. As a matter of fact, Philadelphia picked him up really at the back end of free agency early summer, and he is potentially the defensive player of the year. So it's always great for a program to have a bunch of guys in the pros, A, because it means you got a lot of really good players, but B, it sets that culture for more guys to come in and say, I want to do what Jimmy Leonard did, or I want to do what all these great running backs or offensive linemen have done. That is what you're looking for, and I think that's what Luke Fick was trying to kind of get done.
So Zach Bond has really come into his own this year. He's been in the league for a little while now. You were a grinder. You got there throughout just hard work. What Jim was saying earlier in the show was that, Jordan Love has been around, and he's been in the NFL for a long time. He played a lot of games in college, and that, the improvement will come in the margins more so than overall. Do you think that there's a chance that we'll see a huge leap from him at any point in his career moving forward?
I do. I mean, yeah, he's been around, but he's played 30-some games. It's not as if he's, a seasoned vet that has played, just a ton of games already. He's still a lot of stuff that he has to see. He was not. I really think this year we're going to look back and say he was not healthy. And one of the big things, I think, when you evaluated him, how did he run the football this year? He was not, as getting out of the pocket and doing the things that he'd done prior last year. That was a big part of what made Jordan a really good player at the end of last season. So I think there's a lot of things that he can still improve upon. I think he's in that position that he's going to be able to. And it's not by any stretch of the imagination that he is like some finished product after playing only 30-some-odd games.
Yeah, and we'll have to see on it. The same coordinator, same offense, started more games than a lot of quarterbacks coming in, got a chance to sit. And again, he still will get better.
Right.
I'm just saying I don't know if he jumps to Mahomes level either. He might just be Jared Goff, which again,
Jim,
yes.
Who is going to be at Mahomes level? Tom Brady's it.
I'm not saying this. I'm not saying it as a negative. I've just been saying that Jordan Love's a quarterback that I think will give you a bite at the apple every year to go to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Packer fans are used to Mahomes level play with Aaron Rodgers and Favre. So that's my whole thing, that I think he will be a Packers Hall of Famer, not an NFL Hall of Famer. And Packer fans should be happy with that. That's what I see out of Love for his career.
We don't know, but I think to try and compare anybody to Patrick Mahomes at this point is crazy. I mean, what he's done has been, nobody's ever done what he's attempting to do. So if you can even put him in the same breath as Patrick Mahomes, you'd be happy. He's not there. But to say that's the bar, I mean, you're talking about trying to get someone to do the World Olympic high jump after 2 years. That seems like a very unfair expectation for anybody.
I'm not setting that bar. We have plenty of callers chiming in, like, let's move off of Love. Like, because he's not going to get there. Like, the entitled town aspect for it. My whole take is that most teams would take Jared Goff. And if he turns out to be Jared Goff and Jared Goff gets more polished each year, you still should be happy with it. So I don't call it a detriment. I mean, I got nothing. Jay Cutler's the best quarterback I've seen in my lifetime. Caleb's going to pass that, but like right now, I got nothing. I'd take Jared Goff. So like obviously, I don't think it's a knock on Jordan Love to say that he could be that Jared Goff level QB, which he's been to one Super Bowl and gotten to 2 NFC Championship games and won multiple divisions.
Yeah, I just, you lost me when you were saying he's not going to be Patrick Mahomes. I'm thinking, who is going to be Patrick Mahomes? That was my
right. No, and that's like fans want to move off of him. Some do, and I was like, this is insane. Because he's not, maybe he won't be Aaron Rodgers, but you still would want him around.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there's some fans. I don't sense that. I think it's more of I'd like to have seen more of a jump, but I still feel like most Packer fans are looking at Jordan Love and saying, I like the fact he has a lot of things you're looking for in a quarterback. He didn't have the big jump year that I think we all hope for, but I don't know if a ton are saying let's go find Joe Flacco and bring him in here to take over. I don't sense there's many Packer fans.
No, it's a loud minority in the talking text line. Right, a couple people ready to maybe look at a QB in the draft. Mark, thank you so much for hopping on.
You bet.
All right, that's Mark Tauscher, brought to you by Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. Madison's custom jeweler, Madison's family-owned jeweler. Chalmers Jewelers. We'll wrap the show next.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Mark Tauscher here for Kohler Services. If you've been putting off your bath or shower remodel, now is the time to turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get $1,000 off your Lugstone shower remodel and no payment financing until 2026. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Ben Brust here to tell you about why your next work van should be from Mercedes-Benz Sprinter at Zimbrick European. First off, we have versatility. The Sprinter vans offer 16 body types and thousands of ways to customize that space. Number 2, we have reliability. Sprinter's most powerful diesel engines last longer and require less maintenance, spend more time on the road and less time in those bays. Number 3, we have safety. Sprinter's safety technologies include curtain airbags all around, load adaptive electronic stability program, and crosswind and attention assist. Number 4, Van Care Mobile. Our maintenance team can come to you with routine service. Who wants to go in? Let them come to you. They work with multiple trucks on one visit. Use the Mercedes Me Connect. And last but not least, get your Zimbrick Sprinter at Zimbrick European at Rimrock Road and the Beltline, or go online at ZimbrickEuropean.com because they never charge over the MSRP.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Is Post Malone good? Alex G, Jim Rutledge with you, Christy Birdsall, and Riley Yao spinning the records back there. Like I respect Post Malone in this, and I don't mind this. Again, I like this song. I'm not calling it like this is not a masterpiece.
I don't understand Post Malone. For a long time, I thought he was a rapper.
This is why I'll give him credit. Wasn't he a rapper?
Yeah, and then he released this big country album collaborating with a ton of different country artists. It was really good. I liked it.
Like this summer. And I enjoyed it. But I was like, good for him.
But like rap and the country hated each other, and all of a sudden they're back.
So,
they were best friends in 2014.
Rap and country are two musics that used to be their own genres, and they've turned into pop, unfortunately. Like country is like actual country music, and Tyler Childress would be like probably my favorite country music artist, and like that is country music. Maybe it's more American. Americana. Dude, this song slaps. It sucks, but it slaps. Like,
turned down the wrong one.
I like this song that just came on there, but it is a garbage song.
Yeah, but it's like, with food, I had a Greek burrito recently, a burrito. It's the same thing. Everything's just fusion now.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we can do it.
Yes. There's very few true country artists, very few hip-hop artists. I think Kendrick Lamar's one of them. He's doing a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see that halftime show. This has been Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Just announced 0.99% APR for 60 months on select new 2024 Audis. Eligible models include the